Oh, yeah. Wow. Andrew Bird here in the Skype Live studio at the Schnitzer tonight. Welcome back to Portland.
Thanks.
I don't know about you. When you're on a bigger stage, when you're at the Schnitzer tonight, is your arrangement on stage, are you going to be as close to each other as you are now, or do you spread out a little bit? And the reason why I ask is I kept on watching that bow, and I swear it was going to hit you in the...
Yeah.
Has that happened? Have you taken a bow to the eye?
No, but it's part of the show.
Oh,
It's kind of
Yeah, we do, at the end of the show, we do the old time bit, but the rest of it is more
And
electric.
so far, injury-free.
So far, yeah.
Wow. It was intense there for a while. I'm like, this is going to happen. Yeah. Not that I was wishing anything bad towards you. Right. Brand new album. Are you now? Is there a question mark at the? Is it? Are you serious? No, there's no. So it's how do you do that? Because it's kind of like a question. Are you serious?
It's
Are you like? Are you serious? Is it like that?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
But we're so serious, like you don't need a question mark. I mean, it seems completely superfluous.
Yeah. True. Capsize is the album we've been playing the crap out of it on KINK and loving every second of it. So thank you for opening with that. You did something that I am completely fascinated by, and I knew you did this as an artist, but I did not realize the level of expertise until I was doing some research today. I am fascinating, and if you listen to the KINK Morning Show, you hear me talking about this all the time, by people whistling. I am completely fascinated by it. And you are a top-notch whistler. I learned that you did the Muppets whistling that we all saw in the Muppets, right? You guys, Walter's whistling. That was Andrew Bird. That was actually you doing that whistling. Amazing. It is amazing. And the reason why I bring this up is because as a singer, you got to keep track of the pipes and all that stuff. Right. But whistling is like so much different. Like, do you have to do or not do specific things to make sure that when you go up on stage right now or tonight that you can whistle? And by that I mean you have to avoid crackers, I'm assuming. Crackers are out.
Crackers and whiskey, yeah.
So anything like, but do you have a kind of a regimen to make sure that when you're ready to whistle? Because sometimes it's hard to whistle.
Only when I get into high altitudes or high desert places.
Really?
Do I have a
do you
problem.
struggle a little bit?
Yeah, and what do you call it?
Like some chapstick?
Chapstick doesn't really help. It gets kind of all...
Yeah.
Yeah. So like usually it's fine, but one little thing can kind of derail it,
Right.
Yeah.
And does that happen occasionally? High altitudes?
I don't worry about it.
You don't worry
too
about
much,
that.
no.
I love whistling so much that I'm just fascinated. We could talk about whistling all day. Yeah. But we won't. All right. But I have another question about whistling.
Okay.
When did that start for you? Just the whistling, and again, you've got a strong whistler. Like, that is a talent. When did you realize that was one of your tools in the shed?
I mean, I've been doing it since I was 5 years old, maybe. And
yeah.
I do it constantly to the annoyance of my family and friends. But yeah, I didn't think to use it in my music first because I playing the violin.
Right.
It takes, it took 20 years to master this very difficult instrument, and then
Sure.
it's like, oh, the money's in whistling. It's a little. So the first couple of records, I didn't think to use it because it's so.
Yeah.
It's right under your nose. Right?
How did it? Again, I'm fascinated by this. How did the part in the Muppets? How did that come apart? Were you friends with somebody? Did your whistling precede you?
I got involved early on. I heard they were making the movie, and this happened with a couple other songwriters like Jim James, and we were all such fans that we got wind that it was in production, so we offered to write songs for it. I wrote like 5 songs that didn't get used. But that kind of put me in their sphere. Right. So when the whistling thing came up, they said, "Oh,
we got a guy."
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that kind of you've also recently, and I love the show on FX, Baskets. You did the musical score for that. Has everybody seen Baskets? It's awesome. How did you get into writing TV soundtracks?
Well, I'm friends with Zach Galifianakis, and he said early on when he was developing that he wanted me to do the score.
Very nice. Simple as that. It's that nepotism with friends type thing.
Yeah.
It's not what you know, but who you know. Yeah. And then when you can whistle, It's what you know.
It's a hard scene to break into, even if you have a reputation.
Is it different? Is creating that kind of music? How much different is writing TV soundtracks to writing a song?
Quite different.
I'd imagine.
Yeah. It's hard to kind of separate out. Like, I start writing for film or TV, and if I go through the normal process to writing my own songs, I don't want to let it go.
Right.
Especially for the kind of money that they offer. But I also feel like I put so much into this. It's like, here's my arm,
Right.
I'm offering a limb to them. But it's so you have to be less precious about it, which is good and bad.
Probably hard to do after doing it for so many years.
And sometimes you have to write a song. I like the challenge of having to write a song for a scene, even one with lyrics. But then you think, oh, I'm not too precious about this. And I did that once, and I wrote the lyrics to fit this scene, and then I got on stage to do it as it was one of my songs, and I broke into a cold sweat.
Oh.
You couldn't
quite connect with it.
I couldn't wait for the song to be over.
Right.
I was like, oh, it's not, whatever, I'm a professional, I can write a song. But then it's like, if it's not really the kind of song I'd write for my own voice,
Sure.
There's this disconnect.
Well, let's hear some more of those songs that you wrote for your voice. Andrew Bird here in the Skype Live studio.